The new PTR is coming out very soon in a couple of hours for me, but I quickly want to take a look at all of the artifacts just to make myself familiar with it. So a big thank you to nwdb.info for all of the artifact information, but let's go over it and take a look at what there is for us. The first one is a heavy set, which I think you get from the PvP track, it seems like here, but there's a bunch of ways to get them. But unyielding, so it's 700 gear score. Obviously it has a magnify on it, so highest attribute will go there. But the first real one that matters, hard head, PvP only, receive 20% less damage from critical hits. I do believe this perk is super good, probably one of the best ones, and I think this one will be super popular among bruisers and tanks. But with it, you also get refreshing, shirking fortification, and the last perk is random, but not really. You can basically choose your last perk. For example, 100% chance with Azov to roll one of the following perks. So I think you can choose one of your last perks, I believe, in a way. But there is ways to craft it and things. But that's for another video. This is just a random look. So this is the helmet. Let's move on to the next one. The heavy chest piece, void dark plate. Obviously we get the magnify and then dark reinforced. Your armor is increased by 20%. So this will make you a little bit more tanky as well. Maybe it's even better than the critical resist, depending on, who knows, a lot of pop-ups. But there's like a lot of things going on here. With the resistance, plus you get enchanted ward, which will reduce 4% damage from light and heavy attacks, and then physical aversion, you can avoid some range damage, and then obviously the random perk where you can get it. Oh, you can actually get it from Angry Earth Mob that can drop it. So there is the set. Can we just take a look at the image? Looks pretty decent. I think we already have this skin in game. But let's move on to the gloves. Heavy gloves. Let's take a look. Magnify, obviously. And then magnetic. Critical chance is increased by 50%. But crit damage is reduced up to 50%. So you will be able to crit more, but your crits will do less damage. Maybe if you want to activate like a special thing, like maybe a disease or a rend or something like that. Even for like Great Axe, I believe can heal from crits, but maybe you don't want to do critical hit damage, then maybe you can use this. You'll probably crit so much, so definitely worth it maybe for the bruiser. But I think the other two items is way better compared to the gloves, but you get the refreshing and physical, and then obviously a random perk, which I do believe you can choose if you go to a crafting station. Let's move on from that. The freedom is the heavy legs, which obviously comes with the magnify, unending freedom, so stun, slows, and roots effects expire 25% faster. So it's quite a lot. You can basically cap out quite quickly without having to do like full freedom. Plus you get like 12% here. There's already 30% and a little bit, so quite good. Maybe just one more piece and you're already at 40% from another base in slot piece maybe. But also you get the enchanted ward, which is a new perk. 4% less damage from a light and heavy attacks, so super good. I wonder if this also counts for range. Probably just for melee, but who knows. But I believe, maybe I haven't seen a version yet. I do believe there's a version still. So yeah, super good. We did see physical version, so this is probably for melee. So freedom, super good one as well. But I do think the other one, the unyielding one, is probably a little bit better in my books. Let's go on to a medium. Now for the medium one. Taking a look at the medium headpiece, struck off, non-crowd control debuffs expire 20% faster on you. Plus you get vigor and invigorated. So vigor, reduce the duration of burn, bleach, and poison by 35%. Plus invigorated, reduce the duration of weakened disease plus 35%. So 30 is 40 is 50. So 50% of the things can be reduced. Maybe you can even cap out at 100%, and none of these things will affect you. If you can spec towards it, maybe there's some abilities that will also reduce this. So maybe if you can cap out on 100%, this will be super good. Burns and bleeds and things does do quite a bit of damage. Plus, if you can get rid of weaken and diseases and things, maybe you can survive quite a bit as well. So definitely good for a little medium head piece. Moving on to the chest piece, let's take a look. Obviously, I'm not gonna go over magnify each time, but we do get magnify on all of them. So highly refreshing, reduce max cooldowns by 10%. I really don't think that's like super crazy. I mean, the refreshing is just like reduce max cooldown by 9%. Plus you get health. This isn't like a stupidly good piece for me, at least. Maybe there's something else that you can use for it. I think you can craft the best in slot that's a little bit better than this, most likely. But maybe if you need this, then you can probably use it. I think it's one of the lesser pieces for this one. Let's move on to the medium gloves. Well, gold gloves, whatever it is, but gold touch. When you hit a foe below half health, transfer 1 debuff, 3 seconds cooldowns. I don't think it's super good. I mean, you probably want to do more damage than this, but it comes with refreshing and elemental aversion. Here we get the elemental aversion again, so super good as well. I don't think it's game changing for me, at least, but you do get that extra perk there. So maybe if you don't have anything else or you can't use anything else, maybe it's for you, but not for me. Let's move to the pants. Let's see if this is better. Well-rounded, plus 10 to all other attributes. So you'll definitely get like way more attributes than other builds. So if you play like a mixed build, maybe you can get up to 25. When you go up to 25 attributes, you will gain like an extra like passive from the attribute tree. So maybe this is worth it for you if you play a mix, like a double stat weapon. Maybe this is worth it for you. Who knows? There's no meta yet, so pretty exciting stuff, but it comes with a refreshing and elemental aversion. And then the hat comes with intelligence, which is weird for now. Well, this is a light hat, which is weird. It comes with intelligence. Maybe the data is still a bit corrupted, but who knows? It also doesn't have like a random perk for now. I think the light set might be bugged, but who knows? But it just comes with a refreshing physical aversion and a random perk. So maybe this isn't it, but let's move on. For the light chest piece, the light chest piece does come with magnify. So I think that the headpiece is a bit bugged for the moment. I'll probably update it in the comments below. I'll just pin it. But for now, let's take a look at the light chest piece. The light chest piece has weightless on it. This armor is weightless, so it doesn't count towards your weight of your armor. So you can maybe run even a heavy piece and still be in medium or in light. Or maybe you can run other medium pieces and still have a light setup. But it comes with refreshing and physical aversion. Obviously, the random perk, I think you can choose by going to a station, but who knows. Moving on to the tumble shoes. Now, the shoes, I do think it's like super crazy. If you're going to play any light piece, it's probably going to be these. I already took like a little bit of a look, but here we go. Shirking Blessing. Shirking Blessing, successfully dodging an attack gives you 15% in power and 25% fortify for 5 seconds. Not only that, you are also healed for 200 health plus 2% of your max HP, well, health. So this is super good. Imagine even with the Shirking Empower Amulet, you're going to be capped on fortify really quick if you have this, plus you gain some fortify back. So if you want to run a light piece, and this is definitely the one, since you're going to reduce damage and you're also going to get like boosted with damage. So super good, refreshing and physical aversion. These shoes are definitely the ones that I think you should go if you play a light, maybe a light mage or something. I think this is definitely the way to go. Let's move on to the next piece. We are going into weapons now. The first one is the sword, the Butcher. Obviously, also comes with Magnify, but it comes with the bloodletting. Bleeds lasts 33% longer. Works on both weapons, so if you have a spear that applies a bleed, probably will also last quite long. Then it comes with Jagged Whirlwind, which is Whirlwind Blade inflicts bleed, deal 10% weapon damage for 6 seconds, so pretty good. And then Empowering Whirlwind Blade, when 3 or more enemies are within its radius, while performing a Whirlwind Blade attack, gain 52% base damage. So also good, and obviously they're gonna go into the bleeds again, keenly jagged with it as well. Inflict bleed on critical hit, dealing 10% weapon damage per second for 6 seconds, 7-second cooldown. But it's going to get boosted by this, the bloodletting perk. So definitely going to add some damage here. You're just gonna bleed people dry. Imagine you play rapier with this, a bleeding rapier will probably work as well, but we'll get to the rapier in a minute. Moving on to the hatchet here. Thrown Mastery. Thrown X projectiles reduce all X skill cooldowns by 25%. 5-second cooldown. So this is just a throwing hatchet build, I guess. Empowering Rend. So you get a ranged hatchet attack, deals 48% damage against rending targets that you throw, and then the refreshing move. So this is basically just like a refreshing hatchet, where you can just quickly throw your hatchets and you'll get your skills back. I don't think this is like completely overpowered. Maybe if you get like Berserk up constantly, maybe it would be like super good. But throwing hatchet, there's something for you if you like throwing hatchet. But I don't think it really increased the damage too crazy. But yeah, there's the hatchet. Let's move on to the Warhammer. The Warhammer is quite interesting. It has, I can't pronounce this, but it has a blessing. Basically what it says is 99% of Warhammer damage is converted to lightning, and you deal 20% more lightning damage with both weapons. So because this weapon has lightning damage, it will gain a 20% damage buff just from doing its attacks. So all of its attacks is lightning, but it will also gain extra 20% damage because of it. And then Mighty Gavel caused a lightning strike that inflicts a 50% weaken for 7 seconds. So on top of that, you also apply a 50% weaken with Mighty Gavel, and then refreshing Mighty Gavel, you're going to get cooldown for it. So basically, Mighty Gavel hits reduce the ability's cooldown by 20%, max 2 activations per impact. So potentially 40% cooldown reduction if you hit 2 people, but you also get refreshing move, so it might be up even more. So just like this weapon plus another weapon, slot in a lightning gem there, you will gain some damage there as well. So this will not only boost probably your great axe, but everything you have as well. So pretty good hammer. I think you can make an interesting build with this. Maybe you even go lightning damage on your ring, plus on your armor, since on your armor now, you can boost a damage type as well. So super good if you want to run this. It's like super good. There's some interesting things you can do with this, and I think they did a good job with this. But let's move on to the next one. We already heard about the Great Axe, the Abyss. Now, Darkened Blade, 99% of damage is converted to Void, and if higher will scale with from intelligence. So the Void damage will scale from intelligence, but Abyss deal 20% more damage when mana is below 100%. Now, what is this telling me? Maybe they want you to switch to Great Axe once your mana is completely out. Maybe you play Fire Staff or Void Gauntlet. I think Void Gauntlet is more the one for this, since Void Gauntlet completely drains your mana quite quickly. I think you play Void Gauntlet and then you switch to this weapon, and you can still do damage since you don't need mana. Plus you'll do more damage because you basically mana yourself, yourself, I guess. But you also get Abyssal Attunement, your attacks to deal more Abyssal weapon damage, well, void damage, and then the refreshing move, obviously super good. You probably want something here like Enchanted, since it's probably like a best in slot, great X then. But super good. I think this is more for void content than for fire stuff, so super interesting to see this. You can even boost yourself by putting down Oblivion, Screaming, and then you can go to town with this. Super nice. I think void content is the one that you want to pair with this one for sure, since you can get rid of your mana so quickly. Let's go with the mechanic? Is it the mechanic? Yeah, it's mechanic. So let's go take a look at the musket. I don't think it's stupid crazy, but let's take a look. Extra levers. They did rework the musket a bit. It now has projectiles, but let's take a look. Traps and sticky bomb cooldowns reduced by 25%. So you'll constantly have traps and sticky bombs. For accelerating traps, you gain 35% movement speed for 5 seconds after deploying a trap. Pretty good. Traps now apply a bleed, which is 18% of weapon damage, and then bending sticky bomb. Every hit of sticky bomb heals you for 32% of damage done. So you can just constantly throw out traps, sticky bombs if you want to. I think you'll probably play this with refreshing. You have as much uptime of traps and sticky bombs. I think this is an interesting playstyle. Maybe you'll start kiting people where they appear and then constantly throw them with traps and sticky bombs and healing. So pretty good. Like it doesn't add too much damage, but a lot of utility and healing. It might be an interesting playstyle for them. I think it looks pretty decent. It's like a sniper rifle. Super good skin for a musket. Let's move on to the next one, the kite shield. The kite shield is like they're bringing it back. They're bringing a lot back with it, but the thing has here refreshing cleanse cooldowns reduced by 5% on block, plus you lose 1 debuff. So every time you block, you lose a debuff. Counterattack on block, gain a 30% in power for 4 seconds. So basically, this build is used as a counterattack. You block, you counter, you block, you counter. So constantly doing this. Plus, if you block, healing defense. On block, heal for 3% base max health. So not extra health, just your base health. And then you also get some life stealing. And then you can choose your own perk, of course. So super good. I think this is also a really good playstyle. Just blocking and then counterattacking, taking a hit and then giving a hit. Super nice. Obviously, we already heard about the tower shield, the wall, which is super nice. I think if you don't want to dodge, you can get a good excuse to never dodge. Unbind your shift key. So let's go shield, wall, gain 5% base damage reduction. You cannot dodge, but have a 33% more stamina. So you gain 33% more stamina, and then chromatic ward. You take 25% less damage from all elemental sources. No more fire staffs, won't kill you as much. Maybe with elemental aversion, you'll do pretty good. And obviously, you also gain sturdy, some stamina while blocking, plus keenly fortified. Gain 10% fortify for 3 seconds on critical hit. Probably not the best. I don't know. Like, are you really going to be hitting like that? Maybe not, but you can have like a random perk as well. Let's move on to the other weapons. There's still a couple to go. The next one is the Fire Staff Inferno. So here's the Fire Staff. I think this one is going to be super good for those players that play heavy mage with the sword and shield and then a fire staff. You'll see why, but here we go. Inner power. If higher, this weapon scales with strength, so it will be able to scale with strength. So imagine going sword and shield and going all strength, then this will scale with strength. Hellfire Fury, 20% damage when you hit a target within 5 meters. So flamethrower, you go flamethrower, and you'll have that 20% extra damage with it. You can see already, like you'll get up close and personal with it, so flamethrower will be able to be used with this. And then another close ability, empowering incinerate. Incinerate deals 40% damage to targets with burn, so that's quite a lot of damage, I think. Incinerate, and then obviously vicious, and you can choose your last perk, I believe. So overall, I think this will be like a heavy play style. Maybe you get the people that play light, but I think if you want to go like heavy, those stupid Gandalf build where they go heavy, I think this will be pretty good for them as well. We can already see it, those players are so annoying to deal with, but here it is. Let's go to the spear, the scorpion sting. We already heard about this one. Javelin now deals 160% weapon damage and pulls the target closer, so you will be able to pull players closer. Not only that, you also get Sundering Javelin. Javelin inflicts rend to targets above 50% health, reducing the target's armor by 40% for 10 seconds. Plus, Transcend Strike's heavy melee attacks deal more damage. I'm not quite sure. Do you still knock the player down? Maybe you can get in a heavy attack. So maybe a healer is healing at the back. You throw that javelin, you pull him close, and you give him a nice heavy attack with the rend on top. So pretty nice. I think you can still choose your perk, obviously. But this is like picking off your target. Maybe they're like hiding. Throw it, you steal them away, and you murder them from the back. So there's the scorpion. Now for the rapier, obviously this one will focus on bleeds a lot, I think. But it's called Finisher. I think it's quite a nice skin. Like a little cutlass. Maybe. I have no idea. But it looks quite nice. Let's go with Finisher Harmony. Attacks against bleeding targets deal 15% more damage and reduce flourish cooldown by 5%. There's a 1 second cooldown, works on both weapons. And then we got Deadly Flourish. Flourish, hopefully I'm saying that correctly. Flourish deals 41% damage against targets below 50% health, so you can get them nice and low. And then you also get Keen Tondo, 25% critical chance against targets affected by Tondo Bleed. If this perk is on weapon, Tondo also causes 10% weaken. Plus you get a random perk, so you're probably going to get one shot with this if they can stack the bleeds. So definitely be careful when you see a player with this. They embracing the rapier playstyle for the one shot. So definitely pretty good. I haven't seen the life staff yet, but yeah, let's take a look. So life taker. Let's take a look at the void gauntlet. Negative energy. Your range attacks inflict disintegrate for 8 seconds on both weapons, 1 second cooldown, and if higher this weapon scales with dexterity. So you can scale this with dexterity as well. So definitely super good if you want to go with different playstyle. Maybe spear with this. Scream spear into perforate, maybe, I have no idea. But you get keen. Keen is always good on a void gauntlet since you heal from your crits and it gives you cooldown reduction. But then again, you also heal because you get life stealing, refreshing move, and you get a random perk as well. So definitely I think this is like super good if you want to play this with dexterity. Super good, I think. Plus the perks is pretty decent on it as well. I used to play a lot of void gauntlet, so definitely pretty good. Let's move on to Pestilence. Now this one is super interesting to me since I play Blunderbuss a lot. I'm just worried why didn't I see any life staff. But let's take a look. So Blighted Enchantment. Attacks against targets inflict a stack of poison and a decrease to incoming and outgoing healing effectiveness by 7% per stack for 6 seconds, max 3 stacks. So basically you will reduce all healing from people around you just by auto attacking. This is super good. Plus you get Pest, 15% damage against poisoned and diseased targets. This is like you'll gain so much damage, just auto attack 3 times, sharpnel blast, and you'll like do super damage. Not only that, you also get plague crits, so even more plague that you can apply if they get super low. critical strikes against targets below 50% health, inflicts disease for 6 seconds, reduce healing effectiveness on the target by 26%. That's so much healing reduction. Not only that, you get a chance to crit a little bit more, plus you can get a random perk. I have no idea what perk I will probably choose. Maybe plague splitting grenades, just to go into the plague completely, or maybe enchanted or keenly empowered. Who knows? But this is super good as well. Maybe keenly empowered for me. I have no idea. I think you already have more than enough like plague to go around. Maybe you need some damage or something. Enchanted or keenly empowered probably. Let's take a look at the greatsword Serenity. So balanced blades offers offensive stance plus 2% in power per attack for 5 seconds, can stack to 10 stacks, so 20% in power. You'll probably cap out on empower on greatsword, and then the defiant stance 2% fortify when you get hit for 5 seconds, so 20% fortify for 5 seconds each time you get hit. This is kind of crazy. For a tanking weapon, this will be super good, like constantly. Not only that, transcend strikes, heavy melee attacks deal more damage. So if you melee attack, you will do more damage. But if you want more damage, then you also get transcend crits, which will make your crits do way more damage. And with the crit rework, it's way better as well, I think. So super good. But you also get a refreshing move, plus a random perk that you can go with. I don't play greatsword that much, but a random perk you can choose there for something that you want with the greatsword. Overall, I think this is probably pretty good. For a greatsword, you are going to probably want to heavy attack. I know they nerfed heavy attack just a little bit, but still pretty good, I believe. Let's move on to the next one. The next one is the flail. Odo. Odio. I have no idea. But Odio's punishment, you deal 20% more damage to stunned foes. Works on both weapons. I don't believe the flail has a stun. It probably has a knockdown. So maybe you can pair it with Warhammer, stun a player and then switch and do a damage ability with the flail and do 20% more damage. But Odo's defense, on block you heal for 5% base health. So super good, you heal, plus you get some life stealing, and then a refreshing move. I don't think this is like super crazy or overpowered. Maybe you can just pair this with the shield and you'll gain more from it. A kite shield might probably be better, or even the wall, but who knows. But overall, I don't think it's super crazy or stupid. Especially the stun, I don't see how it makes sense. I really don't think there is a stun. I know there's a root and there's a knockdown, but I don't think there's a stun with this. Otherwise, people are going to have to set this up for you. But let's move on and see the rest. Here we have an earring, endless first. So this is a trinket. Let's take a look at the first perk here. The first health potions are 33% stronger, but the cooldown is 20% longer. Maybe that's a good trade-off, who knows. Sometimes you can only pop one pot before you die, so maybe it's good, but the other perks maybe make it worth it. For example, if you pop Empowering Toast here on a thing, on potion, drink, gain 10% in power for 4 seconds. I don't know if this is a mana potion or just a health potion, they don't really say, but if there's any potion, maybe even like a little regen potion, then this is super good. But there's more. Fortifying Toast, on potion, drink, gain 20% fortify for 3 seconds. So you can also gain some extra fortify here, where if you want to tank, maybe you're in trouble, you pop that potion, 20% extra resistance, and you're good to go. Let's move on to the ring, Blood Drinker. The Blood Drinker here is, I don't know if this is a minus, Gold's Harmony, but basically I have no idea if this is a minus. There's like two little dashes. So 25% damage and 25% life stealing. So if it's minus 25% damage and 25 life stealing, then okay. but you also get leeching, which will basically heal you for 7.1% of damage you deal, plus hardy, plus a random perk you want. If this ring gives you 25% extra damage, then it would be crazy. But I believe it maybe removes the damage, but it gives you more life stealing. So maybe it's a life stealing ring completely, but you do less damage. So maybe you want to stack on damage on other places just to make up for it, and like get a damage perk on your ring as well. Overall, I do think this ring will allow you to play a life stealing build a little bit more. Maybe you want to sustain yourself but not do as much damage if that's a minus. But I think this is for a life stealing build that you want to make. Maybe with a great axe, it does life steal quite a bit. But let's move on to an amulet. The amulets gets a little bit confusing, but here is the last pocket watch. This is mainly for PvE, I believe, but let's take a look. Stunning gaze, activate taunt gems. Stuns last 100% longer, but base damage is decreased by 5%. So I do believe this is a PvE E1. Then you get Purify when you are hit while below 50% health. You lose all debuffs, we already know this. And health, of course, so you can get some health. Maybe with the random perk you get like extra protections against the mutation. So you can see this is probably just a PvE one. So there is one more amulet, which is, I'm a bit confused about it, but I think it's probably corrupted. So can't say yet, but I will update you guys in the comments if this changes. And they did mention a life staff, didn't they? On some update weapon, well, on video updates from New World, but I never saw a life staff here, so maybe they removed it, I'm not sure. But if there's any updates, just look at the comments and I'll probably pin it there. So hope this overview was helpful. If it was, give it a follow, and don't forget to go to my Twitch and follow me if you watch streams, and I'll see you in my next video.